Hello and welcome to Automat Live Coding. This is the stream where we write this application, Automat. Automat is a tool for playing other games. It contains lots of utilities that can be combined together to control the game. It's very similar to AutoHotkey, if you ever used that. If you didn't, then you can put objects like those, and then you can run them. And when an object like that is executed, it is going to send an input to the foreground app to do something. It's rather easy to build sequences of those objects like that, and do macros in games. Automat can do fairly complex macros, especially the mouse movement is super advanced and it's super helpful. It's perfect for FPS games. And when this is played back, yeah, the mouse moves by itself. Crazy. So this stream is meant to be a place where we write Automat. So if you're interested in learning more about what's behind the scenes, how it's implemented or influence its design, Automat is an open source tool. So you can check out the sources from GitHub, build and run it locally, and you can also join the Discord where we talk about it and influence it. Recently, last stream, we basically spent the whole stream fixing bugs, but this paid off. Now it's a lot of the things that were kind of annoying, like small annoyances when recording macros, are now gone. So that's nice. I think we still don't have right key working for this mouse key presser. This is something we are going to fix. The plan for today is to simplify the interface a little bit. Simplify in a sense that there is a bunch of objects that look like mouse and they take a lot of space. I hope that we could combine all of them into a single object so that it will not take as much space, and if you're opening Automat and you want to do something with the mouse, it will be obvious that, hey, this is a mouse, you have to select a mouse first. So the plan is to unify all of those objects and also make them a little more capable, because the stuff that we can do with mouse is very limited right now, and like look at the difference in sizes between those objects. So this is the object for moving the mouse, this is the object for pressing the mouse button. They have slightly different ways of operation. So this one receives coordinates. It's not interactive, so unfortunately it doesn't quite work. And this one is a sequential object that can call others like one after the other. So what I would like to do is I would like to introduce a single object that just looks like a mouse, and ideally it should encapsulate both of those modes of interaction and also this mode of interaction, because this is this object encapsulates a boolean, this key presser state. When it's activated, it presses the F key. When it's deactivated, it releases this key, and this is visualized by the hand which presses the button. I think it moved. Maybe it didn't. Never mind. Anyway, probably the button also should change the color a little bit, and so much to fix in this button. But those are small things, so that's the plan. During the recent streams, we finished the black hole animation, so the stuff in the corner of the screen where we can delete objects is now working. So we can turn this to green. I think assembler works on Windows. And I think window capture also works on Windows. I'm not sure why they are black. I will have to verify this before I turn them green. But this is Automat roadmap, this whole thing. Those are all the things we still want to implement. Okay, so let me maybe open a new notes on mouse recording. Okay, this is an empty spreadsheet, empty canvas. We can leave some notes here. What we would like to have. So mouse should be just a single object on screen. And it should expose all functions, all mouse-related functions. So basic events, up, down and up. It should expose something like a Boolean interface. All of those, they should be exposed for each of the mouse keys. Full mouse with all of the standard buttons. Mice can have up to 5 buttons, so then we also want scroll wheel. Scroll wheel, which could be tricky. Scroll wheel has the interface for controlling scroll wheels have evolved over time on Windows. It used to be very step-like. Scrolls used to be very step-like in the past, like here. I'm scrolling and it jumps. But I think the same in Automat. But there are different mice, or for example on laptops, where you can scroll smoothly. I don't know how the interface looks, so I will just say just scroll wheel. Let's have scroll wheel. Position. If we count different low-level objects that we would end up with, so we would end up with 10 objects to support this, because 5 times 2, then another 5, then 1 for this and 1 for this. It's a lot of objects. And this is not all of the requirements I kind of dreamed of here. I would also like this Boolean interface to mouse to be something to design it in a very special way, so that on screen when you're using Automat, if you see something that represents Boolean, it should have cues that signal that it's a Boolean, visual cues. And the same is true for runnable. And I left an image long time ago on Automat's Discord. You can see it here. This is the best design for a Boolean switch that I have ever seen. Like, compare these to toggles used in Apple design, which are, it's clear when it's switched on. Yeah, I will give them that. But as maybe they could be converted into something similar. Yeah, maybe it's not that bad. But the reason I like this design is that it has 3 different areas that can be kind of clicked. There is this zone here, which we could turn into a button, which when activated would always turn it on. This would always turn it off. And this would toggle the state. So it has 3 different zones that could theoretically all be used in a visual programming environment. We could also work with something like that. So I think a standalone Boolean object could look like the maybe original object, but with a switch widget on top of it. So this key presser, that would be an image of a button embedded with something like this above it or below it, maybe above. Or no, below, because the top part is just an icon, kind of. Yeah. Actually, this is a nice design, because it hides and shows. It can be used to reveal some stuff. I like it. I like it a lot. Actually, thinking about this, the way we present objects on screen. Sometimes we want to tell a whole story through the arrangement of objects. And there are some formalisms, like formal mathematical way of describing language. So we could actually try to make Automat more systematic by introducing a sort of a language here, sort of a visual language in the interface. So the verb, the kind of action that the object does, would be shown on the bottom. The interface will be shown on the bottom, and the arguments to this interface will be shown above it. So in this case, the interface says, hey, this is runnable, this is something that can be executed. It can receive control flow, and it can pass control flow forward. So this is already following this design. I think we could do something similar with other places in the UI. I like this. I like this really a lot. Another way would be to have this object, a Boolean object, to just be a separate object that can be switched on and off, but it needs some kind of signal that tells you what interface it satisfies. So the switch will be and it will be possible Impossible to extract toggler. Yeah, I like that. So that also gives us a nice new way to visualize connections, because right now connections, all those connections, they are different. This connection is used to transmit coordinates. This connection is used to transmit Boolean state. And this connection is used to transmit control flow. They are all different types of connections. And I think they should look different. Like this should look like somebody kind of controlling something. This should look like somebody toggling something. A hand is a good metaphor for a toggle. So instead of having this hand here, this connection could look like a hand. Okay, I think I slowly see how all of this could work. There is also this idea of flags. So we have registers. And within registers, we are using flags as kind of like booleans. But maybe if a boolean is standalone, it will be represented as a pretty switch, and when there are many of them, they will be represented as flags. We will alter this design a little bit. I like that the version which shows a circle and a line to indicate whether it's on or off. And I think it needs more maybe space for text, I'm not sure. There needs to be this zone where if you click there, it activates the button. So a clickable area here, a clickable area here. I could also represent them as a circle and a line, or switched off and on. And this would represent a toggle. So a button like this one would look like a key. It would have a power symbol here. Very hard to squeeze so much meaning into such a small space. And the connector would look like a hand that would touch the object. I will think more about this, but I think we are going in a decent direction. The design of object follows sort of a language where on the bottom you have a verb that describes what the object does. Like this is a runnable, this is a boolean, this is a movable thingy. And above and behind it, you have the argument to this operation. Looks pretty good. Okay, enough theorizing. Let's implement the mouse. So what I wanted to do with the mouse is that I wanted the mouse object to show flyers, like literally ads for its related objects when you hover on top of it. So you have a mouse, you hover, and around the mouse it pops out a bunch of pieces of paper with images of related objects that can be instantiated. And then, by just hovering and moving to the other object, you can select one of the 17 related objects to instantiate. But that would require this whole new infrastructure for flyers, and I would like to finish Automat by the end of the year. We don't have much time, just 3 more months. So I think we should go for the simplest thing that could possibly work, which is going to be many. I don't like to use many, but we will have to use many here.
Chanda16 says,
Hi, how's it going?
Hey, pretty well, pretty well. I think I finally figured out the sort of a visual language that we will kind of go for. Because right now all of the objects are super inconsistent in how they behave. Some of them are simple runnables that can receive control flow and pass it over. Some of the objects represent a Boolean state, like this one. And it doesn't make sense to pass control flow into this object. Like, what would it do?
The wire animation is so good. How did you do that?
This is an old trick, the wire animation. The wire animation is also incredibly fast, like incredibly cheap to compute. It's the way you implement this is you represent a cable as a series of points. It's a long series of points. And you write a loop that every frame, this is also called chain animation, but every frame pulls the points so that they are not too far away and not too close. If they are too close, they should be pushed away. And if they are too far away, they are pulled closer. It's a super simple to implement thing, and if you combine it with other things like gravity or like magnetism, you can have or there is even a way to say that you want the cables to be stiff or to follow some trajectory.
It is moving good.
Yeah, it's very flexible algorithm. Anyway, I think we finally cracked the consistency issue.
Did you started any new course?
Not specifically, although that would be really nice. I haven't went to any course like that. It's, in terms of UX design, it's a hobby. Okay. So and the subject is very tall. Anyway, we have this new mechanism that makes it more systematic, and I think we could even apply this to images. So if Automat holds an image inside, we could possibly... Okay, this one actually is a window capture, so it is both an image and then runnable. But I think this visual language is kind of makes sense. On the bottom we will put verbs, and behind them will be what they act on. And it also creates a nice convenient interface, because on the bottom of the screen we will have a lot of buttons or like clickable zones, and on the top there will be just an image representation of what they act on, the state of the object. Okay. Switch to cursor. If you look at source code of Automat looking for the cable implementation, it will be very messy, but this is because Automat does a lot of things with the cable. The cable simulation is super simple by itself. Okay, we finished with timeline. I have enough updates for now, thank you.
Use arena-based allocation. You use threading?
In terms of memory management, I try not to allocate, like, ideally at all. There are some allocations, and I'm using regular dynamic allocator. But when I allocate something, I try to generally keep it around, and if I have to allocate something, I generally try to make it like a static allocation, nest objects directly within other objects, so that they don't need any sort of pointer traversal. And in terms of threading, yes, a lot of threading. There are like probably 5 or 6 threads running in Automat. They are not active at the same time. There are like, I think, 3 threads related to rendering, maybe. Or more. Oh, actually there are 5 threads related to rendering. But this is because I slowly started optimizing this. And when I tried looking at Automat in Tracy, it was very clear that there is a lot of stuff to parallelize. And the execution itself, the execution of objects within Automat is also parallel. They don't really need to be executed on the same thread. They can kind of... There can be as many threads as we want. Okay, we have this library mouse. And this file, yes, contains shared code for mouse-related objects. Perfect. Get pixel grid runtime effect. Oh. Base texture. So mouse click, mouse move. we need to implement the basics, so those functions. On mouse move we don't need. I think this is part of some other interface. Name, clone, make widget. You want this mouse to be work like a singleton. So that clone function maybe can return the same object. And it's a way to list options. Okay, but this is property of a widget. I see. So a mouse does pretty much nothing. Maybe within mouse we could actually store all of the fancy logic. Maybe that would make sense. But the point is we will hide mouse click and mouse move. We will get rid of those objects from the Automat toolbar. This is the only object that's going to stay. Let's just call it mouse. And it's going to be able to make a widget. Of those methods. Yeah, this fallback widget. I don't like inheritance too much. Maybe there is a better way to implement this. First of all, it's going to have a weak pointer to the mouse. to implement of those methods, like name. I don't think we need that. I need this. I need this. For options, this work. Removes const, finds the closest location. It's used. You know what? I will actually derive this from fallback widget. rid of this. And in prototypes, okay, so the code completion is broken because the default build variant isn't built. It hasn't installed LLVM, so I have to build the default build variant. Yeah, it will take a while. The LLVM takes a long time to install. In the meantime, we can probably implement some of those functions. It's going to run in the background. Okay, we are making mouse widget. That's a good idea. And pass it like that. Short break. Be right back. I said it's going to take a little bit of time, this LLVM. My CPU is probably 100% busy right now. Let's start with this function, texture scale, widget scale. How large is mouse? Typically 10 centimeters. Let me measure.
Foreign says,
Cheap followers on streamboo.com remove the space LRNG5 BT.
12 centimeters. 12 centimeters. So this is going to be 10 times as large. Now we can move on the other functions. Scale, the next are going to be texture bounds. I could specify those connection positions, but I think shape is more important. And I am copying this code over. I think I will eventually move those other objects into library mouse. So those will be objects defined in this CC file. And there is a code to draw it. Like this code to be read from top to bottom, so like that. I wish C++ had more compile time compute abilities, because like this function, texture bounds, this could be hard-coded to always return the same rect. because at compile time we know what the texture is, how large it is. Theoretically, compiler could all hardcode it. It's the same with shape. It hurts, it hurts. So we have this path. Really not interested in scale. Okay, that's something strange. Are we unbalanced? Very interesting. There was a bug here. And this is because of this caching. Yeah, because of this caching we are... This is even working. Nice. LLVM. I think the main interesting thing is going to be here. So this is just a function which can be called with a reference to option. I think many takes care of scaling. Okay, so this option that I'm calling, I can immediately deallocate it. It only needs to be alive for a brief moment. If it's being cloned or something. Yeah. There we go. So this is our new mouse object. It's totally broken. It's fine, it's fine. So here we need to make an icon that represents the object. Go to toolbar. I can just ask the object to make its own widget. Should work. animation within maybe pointer hover. I think we'll have to write this code very carefully so that this widget was created for this option can be recovered by us and repurposed here. Okay, the new mouse should just look like mouse right now. I'm just a little bit afraid that it's going to be way too large. 12 centimeters. It's a lot. I think this is because we are using this idea of a singleton. It's probably confusing the rest of Automat's infrastructure. Should I clone this singleton? I think it's a bad idea to do this, so I should properly clone it. It's really large. I think it's actually way too large. Yeah, my mouse is much smaller. It's 9 centimeters. Why is the compilation of this file so slow? Probably because of this. Hard to say. It's about the size of my mouse now. You can really see how large physical objects really are. Yeah, I have to make it smaller. Three centimeters. Yeah, 3 centimeters. Makes sense. And I would also like to call this options visitor. I don't like statically initialized objects. The lifetime can be so messy. It's such a slow compilation. Okay, I've moved delete, and this allows us to make more mouse. Make it smaller. So I am passing some kind of persistent image here. Okay, so each one is configured to be 12 millimeters wide. Let's see, it's unlikely to help, but who knows? No, it didn't help because I'm resetting this matrix. Oh, this kind of smoothly allows me to grab the object. Nice. And this doesn't work great because the menu is manipulating the matrix, unfortunately. I have a generic object I would like to scale. It's nice that the LLM knows what I intend to write. Yes, I need something that will scale the child widget. I don't like introducing the too many widgets into the hierarchy. I think a widget should correspond to the texture pretty much. This function probably shouldn't be used. Issue. It's no shape, of course. I remember correctly. It's going to be just an empty path. And this is also not going to have any texture. Okay. This will mess the animation a little. We can fix it. And this kill children. For some reason it's still way too large. It's our make icon. Oh, I shouldn't be changing this. Changing this. Yeah. Okay, almost perfect. I just need to recompile with the new scaling mode and should be good. I just changed the scaling mode. I think I modified this file at a bad time. Maybe that's the issue. Okay, so instead of having those static options here, I will implement them differently. They will be here. So they will be initialized the first time this function is executed, which is good enough. I just don't want to execute it at program startup, because that would mess up with the rest of initialization. Nice. Wow, it even scaled properly. Sweet.
CP Chica says,
Hello.
Hey. We have a new infinite mouse machine.
I looked VK Rawe namespace, and it's not that bad as it looks on a physical Vulkan tutorial video.
Does Vulkan have AI helpers?
URL.
Let's see. Okay, let's skip the details.
My only complaint is that they have not put it in VK namespace as opt-in feature, but had to make it verbose with VK. Right.
So there is a wrapper for command buffers. For device. Nice. Physical device. Oh yeah, it's such a lengthy part of Vulkan. It's just a simple function call, but because of the Vulkan interface, this is how it has to happen. I mean, I'm doing the asserts, but even without asserts, it's a lot of code. Sweet. Yeah, I think I'm going to use this. Especially the creation of the initial Vulkan context is something that I'm doing with VK Bootstrap, and people say that VK Bootstrap is great, but it does offer very little points for extensibility. I think something like this would be better. Just some sane API to all the Vulkan calls. Okay. We started doing all of this, and I would like to finish this.
I took a look yesterday after I complained to my fiancée about Vulkan copy idiotism. You will have to do in CP. And she was like, why don't you use what they show you to use?
I never really went through Vulkan tutorial, honestly. It was always too long for me. I think maybe the first couple of pages, but like following the long-standing tradition of not reading tutorials. I only read it when I have issues. Read a lot. I didn't thought it was possible to make a less intuitive API than OpenGL, but they did it. The terminology that they use is... I got used to it after some time.
Less intuitive than OpenGL. Have you used Cairo?
Cairo's amazing. Cairo is basically the same as Skia, by the way. The API is, I mean, not the same, but it follows the same model, kind of. Before I learned about Skia, Cairo was my go-to rendering library. Super slow website though. It's also much older, I think, than Skia. Probably remembers early 2000s, maybe even 90s. Looks terrible here, but if you open bindings for example, for Vala, then it's much more reasonable. Then suddenly it looks like, hey, it looks kind of like Skia. Even have like context, device, path. And these surfaces, the names for objects, for types that Cairo uses, it just makes so much sense. So in Skia, surface is a GPU side bitmap. It's very specifically related to GPUs in Skia. And in Cairo it's just an abstract rendering target.
Valakine solved the problem of writing wrapper apis dot.
Yeah. It's such a great language. And it's fast. And it's easy to read. Okay, let's just put all of the other existing types of objects, mouse-related objects, mouse click. We will rename it. In here. We'll get rid of this fallback widget. think we should be able to hard code most of those functions. Mouse click is a bad name. This is really about mouse button event. So this moment I need to make a short break. So be right back. Okay, so instead of mouse, it's mouse. Yeah. I will do it like that. Really nice. Swatter arts. What's next? think default object will do this for me. Or no.
Low pass effect.
Run. Just copy paste.
Low pass effect.
Crash. Interesting. Still crashing. Okay. One thing we should do is we should go to prototypes. Should get rid of mouse click and mouse move. Need to override the make widget. Maybe let's rename this now. Cool. Now actually, I'm not using this lock mouse. Needed. It's gonna be regular pointer for object. Options. I think the draw function will also be different. But it should work now. mouse click. Have to delete it. For this, I will work on this in a moment. Nice. So this is an instance of a new type of object. This is the object which clicks one of the mouse buttons. I don't know which one, so I need to add the rendering code. I think it should work. This I can delete. Shape is interesting. And this is what I meant when I said that if C++ could parse images at compile time, we wouldn't have to manually specify the sizes here. This I moved, this I moved, this I moved, this I moved. It's just the code to draw it has to still be moved over. And I used some clever caching, which is... It made sense a long time ago, but now, not so much. We have a more systematic caching. All objects are cached. So instead of this manual caching, I can rely on the infrastructure that we have. Let's draw. After drawing the base mouse, this is where we will draw the arrow. It's just default sampling options. What is even happening here? I'm drawing the mouse, then only keeping the masked part. I will do this in a moment. Proper blending. I think we will need an extra layer to do it. But that should at least show us which button is being pressed. Maybe I don't need this save and restore. Okay. We can now see the mouse buttons which are being drawn. I'm pretty much recreating the drawing function for this other object, but now in a proper way. Okay. Screen. This is the mode we want. Nice. Now the arrow. I'm not sure if this coordinate is going to work. Probably not. Because this is using pixels. Yep. These texture scale left shouldn't be used. Or maybe it should. What if I don't use any scaling at all? Ah, it is being drawn in the corner I need to specify this in millimeters here. Okay. A little bit up. Maybe 3 millimeters up. I think this should be enough. Now, I guess now I can get rid of this whole file. It happens. We sometimes delete files. I will grab mouse move. Okay. This is crashing. But why? Okay. So we need to kind of implement them. Put them here. I think our mouse button event needs a way to serialize its state. I will try to create all mouse objects and we will see if they can be properly serialized. Strange. It took a while to start it up. Then it says unknown object type. So apparently the name is being used in as a key for this object. I know it's not going to work, so I need to implement those two functions. So build fast automat state. Nice. It had issue with rendering the texture at the start. This is another bug that has to be fixed. Yeah, I wonder what's the correct way to fix that. Why isn't it starting? Yeah, the textures, they don't quite load properly on the first frame. Redrawing any object fixes the issue, but everything's here. I think these objects should work. Let me do a small test. Nope, that definitely didn't send any events. Okay, it looks like they are the opposite of what they should be doing. I think this is just an issue in the rendering function. I need to flip the arrow. Looks like now they do work properly. Okay, this is actually used by the timeline, so this has to stay public. Yeah, maybe one day we will move it into a better place. Or like reusable effects, kind of. I think we should implement this on Windows. I don't see any Windows implementation here. Okay, but the code that we have so far, it's pretty decent. In terms of interface, I still don't like that the mouse has to be pressed with the right mouse button. Okay. Let's plan the next things. So we now have our unified maybe not unified root mouse object. plan next steps. We need mouse position playback on Windows, that's true. Mouse playback plan. Oh. It doesn't seem to be necessary, whatever that was. Okay, this is done. So we should record mouse button presses, and to do this properly, we will need a new object, the mouse button presser. Once we have a mouse button presser, another thing we will need is the ability to represent 4th and 5th mouse button, and 3rd. Then the smaller bugs that have been bugging us, probably be nice to fix them. So this one. Another bug is that the object order flips when we restart Automat. There was one more thing. Oh, it was that I would like the timeline to be created below the macro recorder. Small but annoying thing. And there is one more subtle bug about coordinate transforms. So the a couple annoying bugs. There is also this whole idea of having flyers, but this is a bigger project. And anyway, those objects should stay in the menu. Let me record those bigger projects then. They are interesting. Another big project would be the overlay editing, like the ability to edit the objects which are pinned to the screen. This is where the mouse object actually should live, so that you don't have to create it from the toolbar, and it would reduce the number of clicks necessary. Yeah. So if an object satisfies an on-off interface, then if a connection requires an on-off interface to be present on an object, then we should draw it as a hand-shaped connection. Yeah, I'm kind of splitting those very valuable and very fun UI things from the core automation, because I want to finish the automation by the end of the year. So we will focus on those things and then bug fixing. And once this is done, we will invest more in fancy UIs. Remote automation. Yeah, this is a big project. It would be very fun. Okay, I think this is the stuff that we will do on the next stream. It's probably going to look similar to the key presser. We'll probably even draw it with a hand on the bottom. But once we switch to this, although I'm not super sure about this, because sometimes you want to check the state of a boolean. Okay, that's it. And I would say this looks good for today. The toolbar looks decently clean now. Starting so slowly. Okay, another bug. Slow start. Another thing that I'm missing is this mouse object. It really should indicate somehow that it's not able to do anything. Oh, and another project is the minification of objects. Okay, yeah, I've been playing long enough. So next time we are going to work on the new mouse button presser and hooking it up so that mouse buttons can be recorded. Okay, see you on Wednesday. Bye bye.